Hello and welcome to another live stream. I hope you're all having a terrific night tonight. I'm having a great night. We had a hot day today for November. It was really warm. I want to say hello to my friend CG Anime Fan. How are you doing tonight, CG? It's good to see you on here. Hope you're having a great night. And also welcome to Invisible River Ranch. What's going on in Arizona tonight? In your neck of the woods, is it cold? Is it warm? Is it in between? Are you getting rain, or is it just dry? Right here, it's been pretty wet for the last week. We've got a lot of rain this week, but today was not too bad. It was pretty dry today. So, did you get to go to church today? CG says yesterday he had a headache, but today he feels better. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're feeling better, CG. CG says, I hope that the week went really well. Yes, it did. It did go well. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's been a pretty busy week. My wife had a procedure this week where they ran a thing down her throat to look at her stomach to make sure everything was going all right down there. So I would have had a video up today, or not today, this week. I would have put up a video this week, but I got so busy with that, between that and listing and sending out stuff on eBay. It's just been really, busy. Invisible River says, feels cold a little. And Marvel and DC Marshlands. Hey, Marvel and DC Marshlands, good to see you on here. I actually became acquainted with Marvel and DC Marshlands earlier today. He was on Spidey Librarian on his live stream, and I got to have a little conversation with him today on that live stream. But it's good to have you on here, Marvel. Hope you're doing well tonight. And Oregon Adventure 1973. Hello from Oregon. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. It's good to see you on here, Oregon. Hope you're doing well. I am doing very well myself. It's good to see you. This is the first time I've seen you on a live stream. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Oregon. I'm not familiar with you. And CG says he's known Marvel and DC Marshlands for a few years. He's a really good person. I am sure he is. If he's a friend of yours, then he's definitely going to be a friend of mine. So it was really good to have Marvel on here tonight. And good to talk with you earlier today, Marvel. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Marvel. I did check out your YouTube channel earlier. And if you guys want to check out Marvel's YouTube channel, go check it out. He's got a pretty good YouTube channel where he talks about Marvel and DC, obviously. And so, yeah, I did check out your video about the Superman 2 movie, I think it was. So I watched a little bit of that today. Marvel says CG is one of his earliest subscribers. He's been around for quite some time. Okay. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that Superman 2. I think it was Superman 2. I may be mistaken. It was the last video that you put up. It was about Superman. It was either 2 or it was another one. I'm not sure which one it was. So what are you guys all doing tonight? What did you do today? Oh, and by the way, I think I showed you last week that I had a what do you call it? My mind is drawing a blank tonight. I had a logo for my new YouTube channel. I haven't posted a new video up on the new YouTube channel yet, but I plan on putting all my videos where I'm fixing consoles on that channel, It's called Uncle Sam's Retro Gaming, and I got merch. Check it out. Uncle Sam's Retro Gaming. That's my merch. That's my new t-shirt. So I just got my t-shirts in, and these were the Uncle Sam's Retro Gaming merch t-shirts. And I got some more of the t-shirts for my Retire Inspired channel as well. So I'm still waiting on Invisible and Brent to send me their email or their mailing addresses that they want me to send their shirts to, because they have been members for like almost 30 days now, about 28 days. CG says that he hopes that my channel works out really well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Marvel says, if it was my last Superman review, probably Superman 3. That one was interesting for sure. Well, I'm going to have to go back and watch the rest of it. I only got to watch a couple of minutes of it, but I do plan on going back and watching the rest of that one. It was the last video that you put up, so I will go back and check that out. I'm kind of tired right now, but I hadn't really done that much. I went out to the booth today, and I wanted to show you guys what I did. If you watched my haul video that I put out on Saturday, sorry. If you watched my haul video that I put out on Saturday, you would have seen a couple of neon signs that I got. I got one that was Fred Night. It was Five Nights at Freddy's, and it was a neon kind of sign. And then another one was the PlayStation, the official PlayStation logo, the XYAB thing that goes on the joysticks. And then another one was a light up controller. So I'm going to show you a video that I took this afternoon of my booth, showing that I put this stuff out, just letting you guys see what it looks like. So I'm going to show you that real quick. So the first video I'm going to show you is with the lights out. They turned the lights out when I was there, which was cool because I hadn't got to see it before with the lights out. So this time I got to see it with the lights out. And so here we go. I also did a video with the lights on, but I wanted you guys to see what this looks like here. This is only about a minute long. So this is what the booth, it's real good because it shows you the lights that I have in my booth. You can see that I've got lights all the way around the top. But then I've also got this this symbols for PlayStation, and I have to zoom in on that one in the middle case. But that's the Five Nights at Freddy's light that I got. I wonder if I don't think I zoomed in on that one. It's hard to see it with the lights out because it's kind of blurry. But the one that is in the middle is the one with the controller that's lit up. I got a lot of Christmas decorations out. And you might notice I took my Rock'em Sock'em Robots and put it at the top of the shelf there, because people just kept playing with it. So you get to see what it looks like with the lights out. Let's see, let me catch up on these. The Marvel says, I actually mentioned on Spidey Librarian stream earlier this year was actually the first time seeing the Christopher Reeves movies. Was definitely interesting seeing those for the first time in 2025. Yeah, I actually, showing my age a little bit here, I actually went to see the Superman movie, the Christopher Reeves Superman movies at the theater when they first came out. So that's showing my age a little bit. Badlands says, good evening, Sam. Hope you and Carol are doing well. Hello, Retire Inspired Nation. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to have you on tonight, Badlands Bandit. Marvel says, pretty nice setup overall. Thank you very much. And Badlands says, cool booth setup. CG says there's a really good documentary about Christopher Reeves that came out last year. It's the greatest documentary that he's ever seen. Well, I would have to see that. That sounds pretty cool. Now let me see if the other video has uploaded yet. I just it's about 2 minutes long. This is showing the booth with the lights, but it'll probably take a couple more minutes before it shows up, and I can show it to you. Did you guys notice I've got a pink light behind me? I don't know if that's showing up too well on the camera, but I've got a light thing behind me that is shining up into the wall, and it kind of puts a pink glare on the wall. Marvel says, nothing wrong there. We will start somewhere. I personally started my journey around to late 90s. I was born in 91. You were born the same year that my son was born. My oldest son was born in 91. He was actually born on the same week that the first Gulf War kicked off. It was January of 1991. And I was in the States when he was born, but I was stationed in the Philippines. I had got sent to Lackland Air Force Base in Texas to go through a school for a canine handler. Invisible says he sees the pink. And Marvel says, if you want to check out the documentary CG's talking about, it's called Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. I believe it's on HBO Max. Okay, I definitely will do that. There is a new movie on, well, it's not a new movie, it's an older movie that is just been published on Netflix. It's about Ronald Reagan, and it's the Ronald Reagan documentary movie. It's not really a documentary, it's like a docudrama, but it's titled Ronald Reagan, so I want to see that movie too. I think that'll be pretty good. There's a couple movies out that I would like to see. Let me see if I got any other cool videos that I can show you. I can show you some of the stuff that I've been listing. Let's see. Okay, so it's Christmas time. And so I want to show you a picture of somebody, and you tell me if you know who it is. So here we go. Okay, so who is this? Anybody know? Who can tell me who that is? It's Christmas time, and I'll tell you the name of the movie. It's A Christmas Story. And that's the movie where the kid puts his tongue on the metal pole and gets his tongue stuck to the pole. CG, you are right on top of it. That is Peter Billingsley as Ralphie from Christmas Story. You're absolutely right. Have any of you guys seen my videos that I did with Chad? Okay, Chad, a Wolfman's Goodies. Anybody, have you seen that? Well, I want to show you something. Who does that look like? Tell me if that doesn't look like Peter Billingsley. Marvel says, as far as upcoming movies I wanted to check out, I'm kind of curious about Wicked. For good, it looks like, and it looks like an extent it will be remaking the elements of The Wizard of Oz, which is actually the first movie I ever saw. CG says A Christmas Story got a good sequel a few years ago where Peter Billingsley played an adult Ralphie. Yeah, I saw that. That was a good movie. Thank you for mentioning that. But Marvel has not seen any versions of A Christmas Story. Well, you need to. It's a classic. It's one of the best. We were talking a couple of weeks ago about favorite Christmas movies, and I think I said that my favorite one was The Grinch. But I really liked the Christmas Story. That was a really good, yeah, Invisible River. You're absolutely right. The leg lamp light. I remember he got all excited about that leg lamp light being up in the window. His dad put that light up there. And Marvel says there are about 4 or 5 movies in total now, aren't there? Are you talking about the Christmas Story movies? As far as I know, I'm only familiar with the one that was done back in, I think it was the 80s, and then the more current one that CG was referring to, where he played an adult Ralphie. And I think in the one that he did where he's an adult, I think he has kids of his own, and it kind of picks up his story to tell what his life is like as an adult versus what we all knew of him as a kid, and the generational thing. And last week I mentioned that there was those anime movies that were had Rudolph and all that. I was wrong to say anime. It's actually claymation. So those are like you have the cartoon with Frosty the Snowman, which is traditional Christmas movie. And you got to see that every Christmas, and every Thanksgiving you got to see the It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, or fall Thanksgiving, October November time frame. You got to see the Great Pumpkin, and but those claymation movies were several. There was one that was called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and then there was one with the heat miser and the cold. I forget what the guy that lived up in the North Pole, what his name was, but that was a classic too. So those claymation movies were pretty good too. Marvel says he vaguely remembers there being something that was a TV special of some kind of a Christmas Story with Matthew Broderick. I'm not familiar with that one. Maybe CG can chime in there because he seems to be very knowledgeable. He is really knowledgeable about the older movies. I'm very impressed with your knowledge, CG, of the movies. Marvel says, with the claymation movies, are you talking about Rankin Bass specials? I definitely remember those. I don't know if it's Rankin Bass or I'm not sure, but there were several different ones that were made that came on back in the 70s and 80s that were all claymation, and they were classic Christmas movies. Some of you may be able to remember the names, but I just can't. I can't remember the names of the movies. Sorry, guys. It's been a long time. I'm getting old. My mind is just not as good as it used to be. But anywho, Um, I don't know if this video is going to load before the end of my live stream or not. Um, let me show you something else though. I showed this on my haul video. I think it was a couple weekends ago, but I want to show you this monkey that I got, and it's already sold. It sold for about $35. I paid $5 for this monkey. No, I paid $2 for this monkey, but I put the batteries in, and I was really impressed with, what all it, it's like an animated monkey. How'd you like that? That's pretty cool, huh? Let's see. CG has turned Marvel onto a lot of really obscure and vague things I otherwise wouldn't have known about. He's very knowledgeable. I'm really impressed with his knowledge. CG says he has heard about the Matthew Broderick Christmas story, but he hasn't seen it. There was also a direct-to DVD Christmas story film that he hasn't seen, but he heard bad things about it. And Marvel says, yeah, I believe it was simply called A Christmas Story 2. And the only thing I know of is the review that Doug Walker did as one of his nostalgic critic episodes. Okay. Well, that's just outside of my wheelhouse, and my knowledge is very slim when it comes to that. But I don't know if I showed you guys this knife that I picked up. This knife is a case knife, and I've been selling a lot of knives lately. I sold a case knife for like $160 recently, and so I've really been paying attention to case knives because they have quite a bit of value apparently. But this is one that I picked up like 2 weeks ago at a store, at a local store that I go to sometimes, and it's a bone handle. And I looked up the markings on it. I don't know if you're familiar with case, but on the case knives, the way you determine how old it is looking at the markings here. And when I looked at these markings with the case, if the S looks like a lightning bolt, then that means it was made in the 80s or 90s. It's a more modern, and maybe even 2000s. And then the case 20 is, but if it's a regular letters for case, and then the Bradford, Pennsylvania has a comma, that means it's one of the earliest knives that was ever produced, and it's from like 1908 to 1928. And that's exactly what this one was marked, and that's the model number of the knife, the 3254. But I've got this one listed on my eBay store, and I don't have my eBay link on the description below yet. But if you'll look on my description, we also got this set of the Simpsons, got those listed. But if you'll look at my eBay store, the link will be on for my eBay store after this live stream is over. So I got a check today from the flea market booth, so I can't show you what I've sold for the last 2 weeks. I can just show you what's sold from the last 2 days on the flea market store. Um, so I'll show you that real quick. So I've only sold a couple of items in the last 2 days, but not too bad. Beer stein and a movie 12 was total of $17, and then today I sold one of those My Hero action figures in a box for $18. And so that's just for the first 2 days of this new pay period from the from the 15th to the end of the month. But it wasn't my first to the 15th was not too bad. It was around $330, which is still lower than it had been. I kind of got spoiled at first because I was doing pretty good sales in the flea market booth, but it went down considerably. But I think it's going to pick back up, especially with Christmas coming up. I do expect it to pick up a little bit. Have you guys ever seen, let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, here it is. Have you guys ever seen one of these? Whoops. It is a thing that you can. It's called Blast, and it's made by Atari. It's called an Atari Blast, and this little thing right here. Let's see if I can make it larger. This little thing right here has an HDMI connector on it, and you connect it to the back of your TV, and on the side of it is a power plug that you connect to the power. And this is a remote controlled controller here. And what it does is you can hook it up to the TV and it plays the old Atari games. Have you guys seen that? I just got one of these listed. But that thing is made by Atari. It's kind of amazing because it is a video game console that you just hook to the back of your TV, and then you can play video games on it. And it has like 30 games already preloaded onto it. The old Atari video games. That was Centipede that you just saw. I know a lot of you are too young to remember the original Atari and the original Atari games, but Centipede was one of the favorites. Chuck says, "Evening, everyone. Sam, the beard is looking great." Thank you, Chuck. Good to see you on here tonight. I hope you're doing well, and I hope your wife is doing better. So what have you been up to recently? I haven't seen any of your videos recently, but I have definitely been keeping your wife and her health in my prayers, and keeping her in my thoughts and prayers as well as you. So I hope she's doing better. But thank you for the comment on the beard. Yeah, this is a Chuck Jacobs inspired. I'm just kidding, Chuck. But yeah, I just decided to grow my beard. I've never had a beard ever, not in my lifetime until now, and my wife said it looks pretty good, so she's real happy to let me keep it. She said that I can keep it. So I told her thanks for allowing me to keep it. CG says he agrees about the beard. Thank you, CG. I appreciate that. And Marty Baker, Marty, you're late. Where have you been, girl? Usually Marty is on before anybody else. Chuck says, thank you, my friend. Well, you're very welcome, my friend. You know, friends are important in your lifetime, right? Because they're always there, and you expect them to stay in touch with you, to stay in contact with you. So when a friend decides that they're not going to have any contact with you for about 6 months, then you kind of question their friendship, and you kind of question, what kind of people or what kind of relationship did you actually have. So it's important to stay in contact with your friends, isn't it? I want to show you guys this cool set of comic books that I got. Now this is going to be sideways, so don't. I'll show you them individually, but this is all three of them together. So just turn your head sideways and you'll be able to see it. But I got these when I was out in North Carolina visiting with my friend Chad, and we went to one of his thrift stores that he likes to go to, and the guy had these comics. There was all four of them. There were the Coneheads. You remember the Coneheads from Saturday Night Live, and they were the Conehead comic books, and they were made by Marvel, and there were four produced. And I looked these up, and they were actually pretty valuable, these Marvel comics. There's 1 through 4, and that's the front and back of each one of them. So I got these listed on my eBay store for about $35. And that was a rummage sale that was listed. CG says he thinks that Marvel even did a few Kool-Aid Man comics. Wow, I didn't know that. So, Chuck, what have you been up to, my friend? What's been going on in your world? What is new with you? It won't be long before January is here, and I'll be headed back to Arizona for the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. My van is, I'm going to try to do a couple of modifications to my van before I get back on the road again. One of the things I want to do is I want to change the bedding a little bit. I want to make it so that I can turn my bed into a couch, and that'll give me more room to move around in there. I want to build some cabinet spaces to put my equipment and stuff like that. And I want to build a desk that I can put up and take down, that'll be attached to the inside of the van, that I can just use, like as a desk or a nightstand or something like that. So yeah, I do want to make a couple of modifications to my van before I take off in January. So I'll probably make some videos of those modifications as I do them. Well, I'm trying to think of what else I need to talk about. I was going to share with you guys my my eBay store and let you guys see what's going on with it. So Let's see. eBay's been doing pretty good. It's been keeping up with fourth quarter sales. So fourth quarter is always a good one. These are some of the things that I've been selling recently. I bought 4 of these Hawthorne Village Christmas houses. There were 4 of them altogether. This is one of them. It sold for $45. I paid $10 each for them. I've already sold 2 of them, so I've got 2 left. And so that $45, I quadrupled my money there from the $10 purchase. So when I sell the other 2, the first one that I sold paid for all 4 of them. It was $50 and gave me a little bit of extra money. But these Hawthorne Villages are pretty good at, and whenever I see them, I pick them up because they're people like to buy these, especially during Christmas time, when they light up at night. I think some people actually set them up like a little village on a display. Well, this is the chapel. And you see each one of them are numbered, and they're by Thomas Kincaid, which also gives them some value. And these 3 of them had these certificates with them. You can see the certificate inside the package here. I didn't open up the certificate because I wanted it to stay intact, but that's it right there. It's a certificate of authenticity. So 3 of them had certificates, and one of them that did not have the certificate has already sold. But I also sold this pair of Jordans, Jordan 12 retro shoes. I sure hope these things pass authenticity. I don't really have a way to check authenticity on shoes. Now, I know there is a website called Check that you can pay for a subscription, and they'll check authenticity on shoes for you. But it's just not an expense that I want to deal with right now. But I feel like these are probably authentic. I looked at them pretty closely. You can sometimes tell with the stitching if the stitching is off. These I bought at a yard sale for I think about $10, and they sold for $130. So these will go out tomorrow, as well as that chapel. They'll be boxed up and shipped out tomorrow. But these are just some items that have sold over the weekend. I sold a video game, a Nintendo DS 3DS game. It's called Zelda Ocarina of Time for $28.80. Then I sold this is another one of the Hawthorne houses. It sold for $49.50, so almost $50. And it's also a light up house. And I still got 2 more, like I said. So this one by itself paid for all 4 of them. And that one is numbered also. Thomas Kincaid. Now this one did not have the certificate of authenticity with it. It was the only one that I had that did not have that. So Chuck says he just put up a new video about something that he's been working on. Really crazy stuff. Truth is stranger than fiction. I'll have to check that out. Invisible says new toilet thing works. Good? Question mark. So I think you're referring to a cartridge toilet that I bought. And so yeah, I bought one of these cartridge toilets, which I tried to repair and made a video about it, and that repair did not go well. just to let you know. But I ended up getting rid of it because it didn't work. But I ordered another one, and that one is working great. I put that blue stuff in the uh, top part of it, which is what you use to flush it with, and then the bottom part of it is the black tank. It's what holds everything. But when you flush that down and you let it go, it has no smell whatsoever. So yeah, it works really good. I actually used it when I went to Chicago. CG says the Saturday haul videos have been really cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It looks like you have found a large number of impressive items. Yeah, I just have not been posting videos about the items that I picked up, but I have some great finds when we go to these neighborhood yard sales. And so I'm going to start posting those videos every Saturday, because they're real easy to post. I just, set everything out after I get back from the yard sales, and then I do a video, and then I just post it. It's nothing to it, no editing or anything. That's a Chad move. Dash from Dallas Flipping says his grandmother used to display tons of those on Christmas time. And Chuck says Thetford Curve, that's what he has in his van. Are you talking about the bed that turns into a couch? Or are you talking about the fold down table? So get back to my sales. You already saw the monkey, the Macarena monkey. So you already saw that. And this is a really cool find that I had. That there were several of these. There were about 10 of them, of these planes, and this is only one of them. I paid $1 each for all of these planes. Some of them were metal, and some of them were just plastic, but they were all really pretty cool, and they were all just in a box. There were 12 of them total. So I paid $12 for the box. It was $1 per plane. And this one sold for $49.50. And the other one that I sold, this is the second one that I've sold so far. And the other one that I sold for like $55. But I took close-up pictures from all angles to show what these planes look like. This was a Marine F9F2 Panther fighter jet. But I had to kind of put this one back together because one of the back tail wings had fallen off, so I had to glue it back on. And the bottom only shows 3 of the bomb things here on this side. Well, I found the other one and I glued it on there, so they'll be surprised when they get it. There'll be all 3 of them on there, like the other side. But this was a pretty cool find to get 12 of those, and I've already made $100 off of that purchase. If you ever see a vintage phone, now the kids these days, they don't know what this thing is. They wouldn't have a clue how to use it or what to do. But if you're watching this and you're not familiar with this type of a phone, you put your finger in the hole that corresponds with the number that you want to dial, and you pull it all the way to the right, and then you see the little hook thing. You take it all the way to that hook thing, and then you let it go, and it goes back. So that's how you used to dial a phone before you had push buttons and before you had anything else. But I picked this up at the flea market where I have my flea market booth, and I paid $20 for it, and it didn't sell for much more than that. It wasn't as valuable as I thought it might be, but it sold for $36, so it was still pretty good. I made a little bit of money, and then I made a little bit of money on shipping as well. But whenever I see these phones, sometimes I just pick them up just because, they're nostalgic, and it's pretty cool just to have 1 or 2 of them in your inventory. I've got one that hangs on the wall that is also a rotary dial phone. But when's the last time you actually used one of those? Most people don't even have phones in their homes anymore, do they? So I get back to my sales. Sold this little book for $4.50. It's just a Halloween recipe cookbook. Interesting that it sold after Halloween on November 13th. But it didn't sell for very much, and I don't think I even had anything into that. I think I got that for free. But it sold for $4.50. It's very rare that I actually sell an item for such a low amount. Now this was a something I picked up at a yard sale for a couple of bucks, and this is one of the Chad's alley from Wolfman's Goodies. I bet he would love to have this one in his inventory. But this is a vintage 1998 sealed Monopoly Star Trek Next Generation Collector's Edition. Now this is the one that you would like, CG, because you said you are into the Picard Star Treks and not the older Star Treks when we were on the live earlier. But this one was sealed, and so it went for a little bit more probably than you would have for an open game. It was $54, so that's pretty good sale there. It's amazing, there is a buyer for everything. Did you know that? There's a buyer for everything. So, let's see. Okay, so I sold a little case for a Fire, Amazon Fire 7 for $9.90. Also sold a Conair roller set. So this was sold for $23.40. I got about $2 into it from a yard sale. What got me started buying these roller sets was watching shed flips. And shed flips, I don't even watch shed flips anymore, but I used to watch them a lot. And Candace used to pick these up, and they would sell for pretty good money. And I've sold a few sets of them, but they're not really something I would pick up now if I saw them in a yard sale or something like that. So that means that they've been in my store for a little while. This Disney Durables, I'm not really familiar with exactly what that is, but I just looked it up and found a sold comp and put it up there. I'm sure I don't have more than 50 cents into that, and it sold for $13. And this pair of shoes, this was actually a new pair of shoes with tags, AVM men's sneakers, and they're running shoes, size 8.5. Sold for $25.20. I probably got about $2 into those. And this Insignia folio case for a 10-inch tablet sold for $17.99. A couple of dollars into that as well. And I sold another one of the Rock Band guitars that I bought from Chad when I was up in North Carolina. This is a Fender Stratocaster, and it sold for $53.10. So that was a pretty good sale there. I don't have a terrible lot of money invested in these because I bought every one that Chad had in his inventory. I don't think he had even listed them. I don't think Chad likes to list stuff like this because it's long and it's hard to ship. And I think he's like most of us. We don't like to ship huge items that are hard to box. This is one that sold the Microsoft original Xbox. It was I sell one of these. They don't sell like they did last year, but I sell one of these every now and then. I bought Dallas Flippin's or Dash's childhood one. I think he said it was his childhood original Xbox, and I still have that. This is not it. I still have that. I think I'm going to keep it for myself. Not that I'm not a gamer, but I think I'm going to keep that one because it was in a case and it has a remote with it, and so it's in really good condition. It's never been opened or anything, but this one sold for $139.50. They just don't. People are not as interested in the video game console, the older game consoles, as they used to be on eBay. I think what I think has happened. I think the market has flooded with vintage video game consoles, and I think that people are finding them to be much cheaper now than they used to be, and so they're going with the cheaper one. I don't think they're any less popular, to be honest with you, but I think that I think people are just going with where they can find them the cheapest, which I understand completely. Now, you guys might have seen my haul video a few weeks back. I got this red 25th anniversary Wii, and I didn't have a box or anything with it. So what I did was I went onto eBay and I found a box and I bought it, and I paired it with this console, and so I took an item that I probably could have sold for about $100 just as it was, and I put it with this box, and I basically doubled the money that I could have made on it. So I'm going to show you the box I bought. This is the box. I bought it from a Canadian for $40 Canadian, which if in US dollars, that's only $28.52. So I picked up that red Wii at a yard sale for $5, and then I got this box. People go crazy for these special edition consoles, especially if they have the original boxes. So I got this box, paid $28.52 for it. So now I've got what, $33 or something, like $34, $33.52 invested total, and ended up, making, let's see, what did I make on it? $247.50. CG says that, Marty says, oh, the potty, the Thetford curve? No, it's not a Thetford curve. Actually, I can show you what I got. I need to find out what a Thetford curve is. Sounds interesting. But whenever when you stay in a vehicle for a period of time, you have to have some type of facility. Now the bucket and the bag, they work okay, but they're not optimal. And when you can scale up a little bit, sometimes it's worth it. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. This is what I got. It's called a Altiva Outdoor Portable Toilet, and it holds 5.3 gallons of waste. It has a pressure pump. So in this top part right here, you put the blue water, and I bought like a gallon of that blue water mixture that you put in there, and on the bottom, that's where the waste goes. So this little thing right here is the pump. That right there is the pump. And when you have, when you go, you just pump it and put the water into the reservoir, and it just goes down. That's it right there. That's called a bellows pump. And it just goes down into the reservoir, and when you pull this little handle out, this little handle right here, when you pull that out, it lets the water go down into the tank. Then when you close it back, it seals it. So there you go. That was what I got. Exciting, I know. So getting back to the sales, I hope you enjoyed the little porta potty demonstration. But I lost my tab for a second, so I'm having to get back to it. Give me just a second. All right, so Marty says she likes my shirt. Thank you, Marty. And if you are joining me late, this is my new logo for my other channel where I'll be doing repairs on retro video game consoles. It's also the name of my flea market booth, Uncle Sam's Retro Gaming. CG says that Captain Picard is his favorite Star Trek character. Patrick Stewart is one of his favorite actors, and he loves him in Star Trek and X-Men. And what do you have for Thanksgiving food? Lots of good stuff. Dallas Flippin says some of those guitars have necks that detach. I know, unfortunately, this one did not. Those Fender Stratocasters, they do not detach, unfortunately. So I had to find a box that was long enough for it. So you're right. The ones that you can detach are so easy to mail. They make it so easy. Chuck says his is a different brand, same idea. So I also sold this Switch game, cartridge only, and I think I showed this one in my last live stream. So I'm just going to go back and get back to my selling and show you what my sales have been for the last 31 days. So these are my sales for the last 31 days. It says $4,499.30 for fourth quarter. That's not terrible, but I would hope it, move up to be more than $5,000 for 31 days. That's my optimal goal, is to have at least $5,000 in sales for a 31-day period. My selling costs were $1,387. I usually, do that. What is it called? For my promotion, I do I can't think of it right now, but anyway, it's based on whatever the percentage is, and I have a cap on it at 10%, but it can go up to 10%. If I can think of it while I'm talking to you, I'll tell you what it is. But my net was $2,828.98 for the last 31 days. Sold 66 items. Average sales price was $68.17, which is down a couple of dollars. Oh, I just thought of it. The promotion I use is called the dynamic promotion. Dynamic. And that's what I've been using for over a year now, and it seems to be working pretty good. But my video games and consoles are on top again. For a while they were slow on the video games and consoles, but then I got those specialty consoles in that kind of pushed me over the top a little bit. But yeah, that's where we are right now as far as sales and stuff like that go. Marty says, where is Tigger? Tigger is somewhere in the house. I don't know exactly where he is. Usually he's in my lap when I do my live streams, But for some reason tonight he's got other plans, so he's out doing something else in another part of the house. But thanks for asking. So anyway, looks like I just went over an hour, so I have put in my hour of live streaming for the day, and I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys for coming and sharing the hour with me. I appreciate the new folks that were in the live stream tonight. Marvel and who was the other one? I know there was another one, but I can't think of it right now. But thank you guys, the regular ones who are here all the time. CG Anime Fan, Invisible River. Who Invisible River is one of my members. Oh, it was Oregon Adventures, 1973. He left one comment, said hello from Oregon, and then he did not comment again. But we'd love to have you back, Oregon Adventures. Hope you can come back next Sunday when I have my live stream. It'll be at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And also, I appreciate Badlands Bandit. And of course, Chuck Jacobs. It's good to see you, my friend. And like I said, we'll be continuing to keep your wife in our prayers and hope that she continues to get better. Said also, Dash with Dallas Flippin', good to have you on here tonight, and appreciate your input on those different things that you are. Now, if you ever want to know anything about eBay inventory, Dash is one of the most knowledgeable people that I know. He knows so much about eBay and different products that I've never even heard of because they're so obscure. He knows, he just can say it right off the top of his head. Like tonight, he was on Chad's live stream and he was able to identify an item right away. I'm sure he didn't even look it up because he's been selling these things and had those for a while, so he knows what he's doing. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight to you all. Marty says good night, and Chuck says bye for now. And we will see you guys next week. But until then, you guys take care and keep, just try to stay healthy, try to stay warm. It's not hard here, not here in the South. It stays warm here. But you guys take care, and we'll see you next week. So take care and see you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.